Are there a group of people who cannot contract HIV and AIDS? The funny truth is yes. You see, in the year 1982, a woman is diagnosed of this mysterious disease. Alienda hospitali complaining easy flu-like symptoms. Akaenda na after running several tests, she was diagnosed of HIV and AIDS. So of course, hakuka sana, she passed on. So the husband ameachwa alone. So of course, he was very sure, high chances, amesha contract the disease. So with hiyo tension yote, with the phobia, alijipatia nguvu akaenda hospitali akapimwa HIV and AIDS, and it turned negative. The guy did not accept the results, akaenda to different hospitals, na after kupimwa the same disease, HIV and AIDS, the results were still the same. The results were negative. The guy was like, hapana, kuna shida. So alikuwa ana go for checkup and for test for every 3 months, and he did this for 2 years, and the results were still the same, negative. What I did not tell you is that these two guys, the husband and the wife, had been engaged for almost 5 years. So they were having sex for these 5 years. And the fact that the guy akipimwa HIV, the results zina turn negative, ni kitu yenye ilipuzzle the doctors and scientists vibaya sana. In the 1980s, cases za HIV zilikuwa zinachukuliwa with a lot of weight. This prompted the scientists to run some experiments on this guy. What they discovered later was something new in the research industry. It was concluded that the guy cannot contract HIV and AIDS. There has been several researches, and very small population of people wamekuwa discovered they cannot contract, and hence they cannot transmit HIV. So why do this special group of people don't contract HIV and AIDS? HIV is a human virus which, when it gets to your body, it destroys your immunity. When it destroys your immunity, it leads your body to AIDS. AIDS is a syndrome. It's an acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So it means that your immune system is compromised. And what actually kills people living with HIV and AIDS, it's not the virus itself. So kenye inafanya this HIV, people living with HIV to die, is the opportunistic infections. Opportunistic infections zinaweza kuwa pneumonia, zinaweza kuwa tuberculosis. So these are infections zenye ziki get into your body, zipate your immune system is weak or it's compromised by the virus. The body cannot protect itself from these diseases. So you end up dying because of other diseases, because of these opportunistic infections or diseases. So an individual engages in sexual behavior and contracts HIV. This virus gets into your body. It binds to these special types of white blood cells known as the CD4 cells. Yeah. In other terms, they are referred to as helper T cells. What does these cells do in your body? So these helper T cells, they help your body to fight infections by stimulating other immune cells. You see, kwa mwili yako, once you contract any disease, it's the work of your body's immune system to fight this disease and to eradicate it completely. Some of the medications we take may slow down the bacteria or the virus multiplication and give your body the upper hand to fight this disease. Most of medicines, they assist your body to fight infections. This special type of immune cells are involved in the fighting of the diseases. This HIV virus, it destroys these CD4 cells, also known as helper T cells. Ni lazima ijishikilie mahali. On these CD4 cells, tuko na some structures known as receptors. Receptors are structures on the surface of the CD4 cells zenye zinaweza bind to HIV virus. So the HIV virus imeingia kwa mwili, itapata this structure. This is the receptor on the surface of the CD4 cell. So it will just come and bind. It binds to these CD4 receptors, and slightly below these CD4 receptors kuna the core receptors. These receptors actually zinasaidia to this virus ibind to the cell, yani ijishikilie to the cell such that inaweza pata access ingie kwa cell, na thereafter it will replicate itself and produce more copies of itself. So itaenda ijimultiply. It will hijack the cell, then using the structures of the cell, the proteins of the cell and everything, it will produce more copies of itself. What actually ARVs does is that it prevents this replication of this virus, because it can multiply. This one characteristics of HIV is that they're gonna high replication rate. They multiply, they will overwhelm your body system, your body immune system, and attack more CD4 cells. And what happens if your body can't protect itself from diseases? You are right, you'll be susceptible to a lot more infections. This special type of people, they are diseased in a special way. They are diseased advantageously. So this special group of people, their receptors has a defect. Receptors zao ziko na shida such that haziwezi bind HIV virus. So hata akikuwa exposed to the virus gets into the body, but it has nowhere to bind. And so if it has nowhere to bind, it means it can't destroy your immune system. So that's why this special group of people, they don't contract HIV and AIDS. These people may have repeated unprotected sex with HIV positive individuals, and they cannot contract HIV and AIDS. So that is one way in which people cannot contract HIV and AIDS.